Okay, making use of copper to enhance magnet therapy. Ingesting copper is a benefit to restoring the electrical balance within your body. As you can see here, I have two water bottles, or two water containers, vessels. One is a copper cup, and the other is just a regular water bottle you can suckle from. Consuming this water with exposure to copper is a great benefit. You can get some of the properties of the copper into the water, thus consuming some copper and increasing your intake of it, which is a benefit. If you've never drunk from a copper cup, you may notice, especially if you have a copper deficiency, you may notice a slight head rush. In fact, I've been off and on with this copper cup because it's kind of tricky. It's kind of a hassle. You don't always have easy access to the copper cup, so I've been kind of avoiding it. And like a week ago, I don't know, feeling kind of icky. I started going back to my copper cup again, and as soon as I drank from it, I noticed a nice head rush, and it didn't feel sick. It felt energetic, so it's a benefit. It's something to consider. Copper cups aren't easy to find. I had to find this at an auction house. It's through the internet. You make the bids, and then you go to the actual place to pick it up within your wherever the local area. Copper's not cheap. It's going up in value, and it is valuable. It definitely holds its own with gold and silver. All three are transporters of electricity. All three control electricity and enhance it. But this is a benefit for magnet therapy. It can add to the effects of magnet therapy. One, drinking water, of course. That'll get the circulation going and improve things, cycle toxins through your body a lot more efficiently. But also, this is speculative on my part, but you know how electricity works and runs through copper wires. Copper wires tend to be better than aluminum, but the ultimate silver and gold are your better sources, but they're kind of rare, but very popular for electronics. Copper is the next best thing. It's a little more available. As a side note too, copper is also well known to be a bacteria killer. You can research it on the internet. There's plenty of websites that discuss it in better detail, but they talk about if you keep it clean, it takes a couple of hours, but there's an electrical there's signals. It has to do kind of an electrical signal within the bacteria that gets knocked out. It takes a couple hours, but they get short circuited in a way, and it takes time. But a lot of people, a lot of studies have been done. A lot of folklore has been spread about the benefits of gold, silver, and copper in all for killing bacteria and stuff. Hospitals, it's been recommended to use it on doorknobs and equipment to help kill the bacteria and most of the harmful pathogens out there. That actually, sticking with the side note, that brings me to the next point. With this water bottle, I have a copper penny in there. Now, I don't know if you ever heard about the folklore where people put silver coin in their water vessels to kill bacteria. It's discussed on the internet. I do that with a penny. Pennies aren't that much different. I got a little copper penny. They have to be before 1982. It's 98% copper on the outside, 2% zinc on the inside, worth 2 cents if melted down for strictly copper. It's more valuable as the copper source, but it does a good job. You can clean it off really good, put it in the water. You'll get some properties of copper, you don't want to overdo it. 1 penny should be good, maybe 2, but if you overdo it, you could be pushing. And I know it sounds crazy. I'm speculative on it, just on my experience. So that's something to consider. 1 penny should be good if you wanted to try playing around with magnet therapy and then enhancing it with copper therapy by enhancing the activity of the electrical signals within your body, because that's what you want to look at if you feel like you're having a health problem, or if you want to just simply enhance your health and enhance your well-being. You can enhance your electrical signals. I put this on a magnet pad. This is ferrite. I use the other neodymium quite a bit too, but ferrite is quite good. You notice also, just me drinking it, it changes the taste. You notice a different taste with copper compared to plastic. Copper gives a very noticeable taste for the water. Just tasting the copper itself and just tasting the water, there's a difference. So you know something is going on. Just by taste alone, you could tell something's going on. Magnetized water in a copper cup. To me, I mean, on top of that, you need clean water. To me, that's going in the right direction. You could use silver, you could use gold. All three are electrical transporters, which, when your body absorbs it, you'll be looking at an increased amount of electrical activity. But it's speculative. I don't know how many people are continuing to listen. It's what I've been finding to help benefit me, because I've had my moments. I'm a little older. I've had my ups and downs, and I forget a lot of things. Sometimes I move a lot, kind of a vagabond. When I move, I drop old habits, bring on new habits. Sometimes I notice when I drop an old habit, it feels different, and then I bring it back, and oh yeah, that's what that does. And it's been that way with copper. It's been that way with magnets. Not so much magnets as much because I wear a magnet necklace and waistband, and I use magnets a lot exclusively. It was off and on for a little bit, and I noticed the difference, and then eventually started turning back. And this is speculative in a way too. Salt it changes the electrical current, but I don't mess with salt. I don't want to risk high blood pressure and all that. But salt also affects electrical conductivity within the water, but I can't speak as much for that. I do believe it works. Halotherapy with breathing in ocean air. I have been on the ocean and breathed in that air. The negative ions charge the air and relax the body, which is very healing. Lowering stress is always healing. So there's a difference with that, but to bring it into the house and try to practice it in some way, I mean, there's salt caves. You can kind of turn a house into a mini salt cave, or even finding ways to breathe in salt air. I haven't experimented with it as much as I would like to. Nasal irrigation with salt water, I guess Dr. Oz talks about that. There's a lot of things that you could do with salt too, but I'm not discussing that here. It's mostly copper and magnets and their interactions with each other and how they can benefit your body and alkalize, calm, and benefit from just the more stable electrical activity. Magnets stabilize, and copper can add as a vessel for that. Silver and gold as well. But then you have to ask, how much money are you willing to spend? And copper is still pretty reasonably priced. I mean, if a penny is worth 2 cents with its weight, that's giving you an idea of what cost is associated with copper. That's it. I'm gonna leave it at this. If you watch this whole thing, thanks. All right, have a good one.